orege gatho nyingi ni gwikarania na ithuĩ tukamunyita ugeni muno tabarĩra-inĩ ya Kimuri ceceni ya Inooro TV. Muthenya wa muthi turathuthuria manifesto ici ni turonia manifesto ya NASA ikirugurio muthenya wa Hawaii na ya Jubilee ni aikoretwo ya kirugurio iyo
muthenya wa Monday
koguo ni guthie turagithie oikinya tukiroraga manifesto ici cieri ihana-ini atia kana ni iraguteithia we witawa njiko kana he maundu hihi urona maratigirwo maragirwo no korwo meho no tugithiaga turaigua ati ihana marwa maria makairetu
matikamenyaga na niwe thina ati ni twarakara tondu ona kabakandikirwo getirwo haria parade ona mari mama hen
no kabakandikirwo mama hen ritwa ritano
na aikore ndo aikorera Kimuri twena mheshimiwa Alice Ng'ang'a MP wa Korea Deka twena muthuriti JJ Githaka kana Jackson Githaka githomia University ya Nairobi twena Gitungo Amere ne fresh graduate kuma ni Moi University na geka political science na ningi twena Muriuki Ndwiga neo marakiruguririe manifesto muthenya wa rucio muthenya wa ira na maiko heka undu karagutwo ni Mudavadi uro wigi economy niguo aiguire atiriri mugukuria economy the next 5 years na 7.2
yes
so plus or minus 2 harihi haria ndio kana Jubilee ikinyetie
5.8
ona kona Jubilee makoto makiuga double digit
no
double digit no reure hena ndo maroiga ati ni kuya muroire MDGs na SDGs muracitukania na Amani Coalition wacoka murekera NASA ati ndari hype tondu ungiacia maicio cianyu ni mugira na kindu kigima wega muno kindu kironania kana ni guciarithia muraciarithio tonga kana ni gu consume
fatao ito like I was saying tutabete oikiria ni ati ithuĩ twĩta nasari twĩna bata mũno wa gũkũria economy na economy itu ithuĩ tũrakũria na njĩra mwanya. There is the aspect of industrialization. Industrialization ni gũthondeka factories at the production level nigetha indo citũ cioima mĩgũnda-inĩ tutigatinde tugicitwara nja twambe tuciikire production hau. That is how we will be able to produce jobs for our young men and women who are freshly graduating from the university. Tugacoka ningi tukarora ni ati imwana ici ciona wira ri they will be paying taxes, they will be able to be giving to the public coffer, and that na besha icio ri ithuĩ tutikuhuthira ta Jubilee. We will not increase the public debt. Tukuhuthira bia citu na njira eroneka. That is how the governance which Mheshimiwa Alice was talking about, they show governance transparent, very accountable. Nyate mwananchi wa Kenya ni kumenya bia ici ni bia cigana na like you saw it just no tutabete before we go very far. Mheshimiwa Raila Odinga akĩarĩrĩria ũhoro wa NYS akiuga hena bia haha within NYS bia nĩ irora andũ makĩanjia kuga gũtirĩ mbeca irora, but at the end nitwani
no kazi kwa vijana kazi kwa vijana
njetekeria ijarie please
kazi kwa vijana haya atinoko hitia mara huteri fresh button
then I will explain all that. Nigege shoka kiugo uhoro wa Eurobond bia twerirwo ati ni ciathondekirwo by the Eurobond saga. Iyo pesa kama ingekuwa injected into this economy atiriri hey kahidane agicoka akigweta horo wa Eurobond nikyo ndoiga ko the amount of money that is purported to have been generated under the Eurobond initiative, if that money was injected into this country, hatri modo utage kufeel the difference of that amount of money within this country. Munaongea maneno ya counties. We have seen irregular purchase by the Machakos governor. Huyo ni mtu ya at that time called and did NASA to be particular. Now that person to court. We took that person to court.
Cost.
Everybody has their own cases.
And according to na travel documents siona nagiate former prime minister ni alihagiro dhafari ni thirikari account. Ona hena private jet. Ona hena private jet. Niki mutaka kugweta horo wa private jet. Ona ni ku refresh. Ona ni ku refresh data ku refresh. Hena private jet.
Bwana JJ. Ni conversation eno urirathire.
Mutiraje tikiria je.
Ni turaigwa ona tugicokaga haria thuthari. Tukaigwa hihi na twarie sanaduko nitakuga ati manifesto ino twaranire ya NASA marakoveti hanini haha SDG makakawia hanini haha MDGs masoka magasitukania magasi collapse mukarehero
na hara makongerera makeria MDG magekera NASA
ni harari na riri ni harari na effort ya outshine competitors yao
omaina hangover
todo negotiation ke strategic remoigire me kumi launch after. Okay, all things being equal. No wega Kimuri tukaja facts. Todo ili tutiria teti. Mheshimiwa ni moteti, bwana muri ukiri.
Iyo tena gete tolera.
Iyo tena gete tolera. The facts are na ni huwa ira igwe. Professor Nyang'nyong na ni athomithagia. Arogire atiri. Nigetha mahote guthondeka infrastructure ona ni megukomba. Right? So dugutiri hindi ugithondeka fara. Kuma Nairobi nginyagia Mombasa 6 lane on your own resources. Tuti na besa taishio. Na roiga atiriri, reri kuma Nairobi ethi nginya Malaba. Na nigetha beke oguri. They still no makamage boro besa. Let's face it. Kugu tukigaberia ku cut corners ati Jubilee ne rahoya na hivi tutikuhoya todo tujina capacity incidentally yako generate our internal resources here we start development no gwenda kugatire bona waihura I think hema udo twenda ku mix na ni wega hari udu na I grant NASA this one concept ya industries really ni very refreshing. Thank you. Marogiri atiriri meokorona county specific industries na netwalitie na inyo tukoiga atiriri ona ide twagiro fio miruru 10 counties really mathina maito mothe matihanaine. Okay? Maroiga ugoro ule mara structure makoiga ko ni northeastern they will have maybe hidden skills or wanyama na tena ponds. That is a good idea. Na Jubilee on the same maroigire generally nimeokorwa na what you call industries domiciled with counties. Now the challenge is the following. Ugorora the anchoring philosophy ya NASA the consumption. So, na ni very important to do atogoria NASA most of the principle ni hakorona this complaint ati kuria do this presupposition mpesa ile shikoragwa furorire they are available, they are free, so where hakuna distribution
or
a distribution
to kutukaga ati philosophy yao ne wealth creation
and distribution
yetu gra mwana oyoge no wealth creation.
For the last 4 years, that is my own personal view. County area ikorawa ikeanka the national economy. She receives the least allocation.
It is true.
Okay? Yes. Nakune ku resources area shidagairwa the other deserving counties humaga. Going forward, those counties production capacity ya ore negotiating. Which means on area marakoro make benefit nigera tumaliptiri they also suffer.
Idwe na santogo sejo.
We need a regional economy.
Idwe na santogo sejo.
Let me finish. That only philosophy which has actually been there for ODM.
Yes.
All right.
They are spending.
Right? Now grow the CRA Commission for Revenue Allocation. The biggest debate yale kugatiriri na tudukia bugu ya this many millions ili tukiheo less money nyodo wake nyodo waturukana
na wamatagia kapushke ono tu muno
na brago kikate nyodo wa equalization na nyodo wa combined we try to collect social inclusiveness for the time being we allow that.
Okay.
No, girl, that is not sustainable in the long run. So the one thing, let's face it, kuria tuli magamashani na kahua na marigo na maudu maria mangi ugira the amount of tax ile generate kwa dia doashi itishoka ko tuka plowed back for instance ni mahakama chane gwirago ugora farashi to kure to bayari iria kure Kirinyaga farashi ciena marima ugora my payout hena something called a tax road levy beje to ero atiriri sigo to rakodo kugi kubu there's a lot of issues underlying philosophy ya NASA to ni kwa an earth
Atre joke juge kaundu kagi waihura ondu kanesirie gutire hede NASA magidivo security to be at the county level ni weda ru hede turenda gwira no twatuga githomo tutigige twara at the county level tondu kune commit suicide tukionaga fiu tondu andu mariokagira governor ariokagira na iundo ciake cia county no go githomo gigathie kurigana na uria governor waku araiga no gikiranirwo from one central place ugakora gigiothe ati mwana wa kuria Marsabit na mwana wa goko central na mwana wa kuria Nyanza marathoma githomo kiu kimu ati ona gutire handu mundu atangihota kuminguka na guthie ona ha ugidipo security ati igakoragwo ati it is the governor who is in charge ati no munene wa security my dear duri wona kindu kira kigikorwo gi country no itu uigi ukagira ona ndaigwa muranga niratuhinyiriria hanini kaukira na battalion cia kwa kirindira heana kiria kamera rudeke ngura andu amatingihota guturani githemba gitagiki niguo tugwikana 222 oguo haru ngirona guku na north eastern guku bari seriously hit by maudma Al-Shabaab the national government irekire measures cia kuhota kumenyora tukuhora na Al-Shabaab na turaria na mwari omwe na turakorwo twi mwe no mwe no riu haha kugikoragwo taru governor wa Garissa na wakura Mandera na nuonaga uria rimwe akoragwo hinyiriirio agokira na battalion ciake na akeroretie mwe no yuki ugakora guku no haro ona gutire wiro ono mungihota kurutika no mareka ogwa tinigetha riri kwenda dukanero ni mundu ati security dikoragwo kind of structure devolved because yema goko national level ithiaga the country level structure okoneta ya burithi ithiaga trickle down ginya no kone no ya administration ithiaga ginya gakinyira sifu dukaye gwiciria ati sifu wa itura ndakoragwo under administration nikonania on ma devolved in their own structure no amarenda hinya usokyo county ati no one ati county 24 so create the 23 I call it iguana so some of these things on adu magidonde kagari ono kono gukenia wajiko we need to be very very careful.
Just a second, I just want to clarify the NASA manifesto. In fact, ogo mheshimiwa Ali Saroiga agakuheana total mandate to the county, that is wrong. Sisi kwa NASA manifesto mheshimiwa Ali nene goko yana geteo mono othome manifesto yo wega tugete twenda ku collaborate the national security with the county leadership todo andwa yari niyo methine wa county andwa yari niyo maramenya niki girathi na mbere guku guti uria ungikorwo wina Nairobi na ni uramenya niki kedi na mbere kuria
commissioner era akakora kwa rio
so acha bikiriria acha bikiriria machimani please jetekeria
ajira gavana waihurari aikonwe munene wa security usoke ujire ukire muthenya umwe waje kumukirira kumwira we uri ureka guku
torore kakia
ujire atiriri na niwe mutu usire ujire kano we
atiriri mai droga atiriri ni to corona collaboration nigeza before we send people or reinforcement kuma Nairobi magithi hari we need to have facts nike hihi kera dinabe so the only thing that we want to do niko make sure like you have said it even in our campaign rallies nati mashifo maitoi nitokoma empower to must strengthen. If they need more retraining, we will do it to them. Nigethari turutithani na wira okonie national coordination. To hire an county commissioner. County commissioner is totally in the security docket. Also, you know, the only thing we're talking about is collaboration.
Just a minute. Atiriri, Nasari, the number authority, ya Polihoro security. So the wotiri any security organs, muhea geteo. Jeshi kule ya Shumari, mutulete mumeshabeti.
Malawile soke,
isn't it? borithi cia Kenya ri muthie ndui no makamuani that respect
ona maiga
nigetha mukoro
ene werenda kuya githurano
nigetha mukoro nigetha your message ri ikorwo na bit of honesty kuguo uria mureka na niguo ndireciria agi anyu ti well intentioned
JJ kegwire twina gitio kinene muno twina gitio kinene muno handu hakonie jesi citu haria mali wako Somalia tutirama withdraw kuma Somalia mokeha matinde magikoma turama withdraw because we care for their lives, we care for adu matigete their family haha Kenya. So the only thing that we want to do, the only thing that we want to do masoka haha Kenya ri magikoro deployed within the borders na ma create buffer zone ni ati Al-Shabaab magikinya haha na jeshi twere haha
Muriuki na Honorable Alice ni politicians no magaruranie maundu na muno reke uhoro cio wa gutwara security county ni ri ni undu wiho manifesto ini ya kodi he handu mareta consolidation of the constitution maundu maria mangiingira thirikari ni ri mangigeria gwitia referendum mamagarure no undu cio umwe wa security ni umwe wa maundu mau tondu gutwara security county ni ri no mwaka gukorwo na referendum koguo no mwaka mato ni marenda uguo gutwara governor akorwo undu ngiri
reke twambe tuthie kundu gwitũ State House tuigue munene wa bururi uria arenda kwira bururi.
Years ago, we have made very substantial progress together in fulfilling the promise we made to transform the lives of every Kenyan. And our progress is not just the work of government, it is the fruit also of the hard work of our partners as represented here today. That hard work, I believe, must continue. We cannot stop and we cannot allow ourselves to be derailed or distracted. All of us together, keeping our eyes on the prize. Indeed, it's time to step back for a moment and remember what we are working for. We all want prosperity. We all want that prosperity to be shared by every Kenyan right across the country. And that is not the work of one day or one administration. It takes time. I believe today's announcement is part of that process. It is underpinned by our desire to empower the private sector to thrive. If our private sector does well, then it hastens our economic development. If our private sector does well, that development means that our businesses can invest in new parts of the country and that they can help us bring jobs. And indeed well-paid jobs at that, for our young men and women right across our country. Indeed, as we launched our manifesto a couple of days ago, we considered the gains so far and looked ahead to the next phase of our delivery agenda. And that next phase depends essentially on the creation of jobs for our young men and women through industrialization. We know we cannot have inclusive prosperity unless our sons and daughters across the country have good jobs. Already, I believe we have made substantial progress to that goal. And this is again another way to create a Kenya that provides us all with a platform to achieve our true potential. I want today to thank all the investors, both our own Kenyan investors, our friends from elsewhere, for showing trust in Kenya, for showing trust in Kenyan workers, and for showing trust in the policies that our government has implemented. Our policy strategy has been very clear. We have invested in ports, rail, and power, and we have substantially eased the costs and conduct of business in Kenya. The strategy has been richly rewarded. In just 4 years since 2013, over 1,500 companies have invested in Kenya, and more than 20 of them chose Kenya as their Africa headquarters. Today, Kenya hosts the very first ceramic tile manufacturing company in Kenya. Twyford Ceramics, today, Wrigley's, have invested approximately 1.5 billion shillings in a plant in Machakos that is near completion. And Bidco is setting up another factory, a 1.5 billion shilling factory in Thika. Kiroche Breweries recently opened up a 1.5 billion plant in Naivasha. And Eldoret is now home to Kenya's first ever private special economic zone, with over 200 billion in foreign direct investment and over 10,000 jobs to follow from that SEZ. Let me also mention that Sultan Hamud has the largest can manufacturing plant in Africa. GZI investing close to 12 billion shillings, and the leather city under construction in Machakos will employ approximately 50,000 Kenyans once complete. What we all need to do is to keep up with the momentum and to make sure that every part of Kenya benefits. And that is why today I'm pleased to announce that through our friends, Kisumu is the next in line to receive record-breaking new investment that will change the lives of our farmers and our young people. This investment, valued at approximately 15 billion Kenya shillings, would result in a modern state-of-the-art brewery which will see at least 110,000 Kenyans derive a source of livelihood. Many of us rely on subsistence agriculture to earn a living, but our farming will remain viable only if we move from subsistence production to agribusiness. And if we do this right, we will see a significant multiplier effect, creating employment, raising rural incomes, increasing food security, boosting exports, and eventually growing our economy. I am totally delighted to note that Kenya Breweries, along with scores of other businesses across the Republic, is helping our government meet this objective. And indeed, this new investment strengthens our national push for a new, transformative way of doing agriculture in Kenya. Indeed, Kenya Breweries have contracted already about 30,000 smallholder farmers across the country in such areas as Kisumu, Siaya, Migori, Homa Bay, Tharaka-Nithi, Kitui, Makueni. Farmers in these regions have proved keen growers of sorghum and millet, and they have collectively over the years earned approximately 2.2 billion shillings a year from supplying beer-making raw materials, a sum that will rise if they take full advantage of the opportunity offered by KBL. And for that reason, I encourage more farmers in all these regions to become part of Kenya Breweries' growth story, to benefit from this plant and the opportunity that it offers. This will lead to an increase in sorghum demand, which in turn will support small-scale farmers and utilization of irrigation schemes in arid and semi-arid areas. According to our projections, this plant alone will lead to an increased utilization of sorghum from the current 20,000 metric tons a year to around 40,000 in the next 5 years. Increased demand for sorghum will see the number of contracted farmers grow from 30,000 to around 45,000. And as a result, gross additional farmer earnings are expected to reach over Kenya shilling 6 billion annually over the next few years. I'm pleased therefore that Kenya Breweries is not only focused on the bottom line, they are looking at lifting up the lives of our own Kenyans. In passing, I want to once again thank Kenya Breweries for introducing the Senate Keg, a safe, affordable beer that has helped us all in the fight and the menace against illicit brews. This year, the Treasury has done its part by introducing an 80% remission for beers made from sorghum, millet, and cassava. Quality brews such as Senate Keg will remain affordable for wananchi, and the makers and sellers of illicit brews will find life even harder. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, there is no doubt in my mind that we are all on the right track. There is no doubt that Kenya is on the right track. And if we work together, we will bring shared prosperity for every Kenyan, wherever in the country they may be, whatever language they speak. And our commitment is clear and simple. We will do everything to make sure that Kenya remains on course so that we live in a peaceful, prosperous, and socially inclusive society. I also want to take this opportunity to thank you once again for all the support that you have given us in terms of your CSR projects that have seen us develop our national theatre. And I take this opportunity also to ask you to continue in that same spirit, to help us especially in uplifting the lives of our young people through your social programs that will help us in the arts, in culture, in sports, and we look forward to being great partners in that endeavor as well. I wish you every success. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Karibu.
Your Excellency, thank you for those inspiring words. On behalf of Kenya Breweries, I'd just like to say we are very excited about the prospects in Kenya. We've been in this country for close to 100 years, and this announcement today is a very important milestone. It's a major investment for Diageo and the shareholders of East Africa Breweries, but the most inspiring part of the investment is this is an investment that's going to create jobs, that's going to help the community, the farming community you referred to, the small entrepreneurs that will set up bars, and the multiplier effect, I believe, on Kenya will be great. We had the confidence to make this investment because of the attractiveness of Kenya as an investment destination. Ease of doing business has improved, the infrastructure is getting built well, and we see your commitment and our commitment to reduce alcohol harm in society is at the pillar of what we are doing with this brewery. So delighted to be here today, delighted to announce our intention to take on this exciting project. It is a very major investment for us. We expect to create attractive jobs in the construction of the brewery, and I look forward to coming back to celebrate the opening of this brewery with you. Thank you.
ni mugathe President Uhuru Kenyatta kuria thigira wa iregi hau kiaria kuringana na kiganda kiria gigukorwo gikihingurwo kuria Githumo. Kiganda giki turerwo ati gigukorwo kina gukorwo na mbeca ciringi 150 billion nicio cikuhuthika kuhingura kiganda kiu ni gukorwo gikiandika andu 110,000 aria magukorwo makiruta wira kuu na bona President ni akorwo akiuria andu ati haha niho mweke uyu wa kwanjia gugikuria kindu gigwitwo sorghum valley niguo gukihe kiganda giki products iria mari huthagira no kaundu hau agweta kanyita muno ati kambuni 1,500 international companies nicio ciukite cikanjiriria guku Kenya thiini wa kambuni 1,500 ati kambuni private sectors 20 20 machuzete Kenya ikorwo African headquarter yao koguo ni kumaanisha bururio ni uragithio ria kwagiriire agikorwo no guke andu 1,500 aria marenda kwanjiria kambuni ciao guku na thiini wao wakorwo kwina aria 20 aria marauga ati makwenda bururio wa Kenya ukorwo wi national headquarter African headquarter yao so gwecia ni uhoro wa munene muno akauga ati kindu gititwo sorghum ni gekuma riu kuma metric 20 metric tons 20 eroge ginya 40 metric tons niguo maikoro magithondeka vieno ya keg ile koragwo ikendio na pesa nyingi
keg ne ndoe ndo akorwa na maiko gweche kuiguta tare bilioni 15 icio ikohotheka kuoka 15 billion gwaka kiganda na merwo kuguo meterere mieke itondo kwa kibatarania mafundi kwa kibatarania mainjinia na mweke ucio no na ninaku na president atariria takiroshe Industrialization na Ivasha na kiganda kiu kingi agweta kia Machakos
withotheka bidco
bidco kuona mara expand.
Yes, they are already
expanding.
They have already started.
Ona hele done se manifesto ini kiuga ati oro wa kurehe iganda mundu gutiganite thiini wa county
na kura ukutaho ko gweka onia we to Mombasa
manifesto ya NASA tigo county specific
both to ona hare kiganda kingi Michael joyo oro akio gitagwo Jamii Flamils ke Eldoret Kemitu na kio kena gucemera gutumira makiria ma bilioni 2 gwaka na mwoko iganda ici Michael nigo kaginya thini wa counties tatu atwaragiria ri hena kiro ikoretwo gigiuka ni iganda cigana thini wa 10 counties tuthu wa muthamaki iganda ikoretwo ciekuo to riu no turiuria agitungo na aria ngeneterere Michael agikorwo ni turonjorithia kana turaciarithia utonga ri itoginya utonga ucio ucoke hihi ni magire gucoka bunge tuge atiriri githayo gitika heo ito na kemundu uria uraruta wira na kiori akona maciaro makiri oro regional economy
na niguo gwecoka njuga atiriri haha
tugetiri
haha gari ijuga okay tutagikanie ngiwa atiriri ohoro ici wa iganda ri ona ni affectagwo ni ona devolved government tondu riu nyingi ugikona governor uraheana maundu maritu ma investors aya I want to tell you especially in my constituency he twaruzire 6 investors ni undu wa gwikirwo maundu maingi at the county level and they chose to go to Machakos so it's also ona waigwa rimwe county tikuria matokaga no nginya nao wathani wa county ukorwo friendly also even to investors
tukajirie na gutiri ati manifesto yanyu ni muraki launch le muthenya wa ira na muraki na maundu matiganite hihi ni atia mugwikirira niguo muone ati ni mwakinyita giti giki na manifesto yanyu mwakimeje uri agirire
ni tweharirie muno of course hadini ha campaign twega campaign na tugu and we will do our best to convince Kenyans gitumikire mafatie ni kuvote thirikari ya iko thaici moime mehe todo ado thaici matire na mutu gutire na irio there is no food there are no jobs vijana wetu wanangaika na nigwenda kuga ati otoguo moroiga the SDGs or the former MDGs zimeingia kwa NASA nigwenda kuga ati ona katiba cia ciama ikoragwo anchored to the national constitution kogwo our plan of course is to we are a global village no mwaka twakikisha ati ureithwe turatwarithia Kenya ona other external investors no moke gukuma foroici aja na ma invest even more joke juge ati
urio hauri heka undu kararirio ni mundu gwetwo honorable Mudavadi
yes
arauga ati ni amakaga muno riria ekuona ati gweta no micemanio thiko cia wira weekdays na kiharo ta Uhuru Park gikaiyura no ni tuonaga o nyue mwinaso ni nyue mwitanaga muno Monday Wednesday Tuesday na gukaiyura muno mugitana niki ni handu muri makaruta wira
twetanaga tondu ni toy adore igime guka matire mawira-ini uguo ni toy so we want to give them hope ni ati magithura thirikari ya nasari there is hope nimekuona yani ntogo saidia the overall governance o mundu ne kugia nafasi yake
ni jone kurekia o horo wa pay as you earn murauga ne mukumirenga varavara ici mugwaka naki thibitari ici mugwikira ndawa naki agiko ni mukurenga taxes uguo turona na turona mwena indo nyingi muno cia bure thiini wa manifesto ino no tutirona kuria mukuruta mbeca
todo ariri
makira koba
todo ariri jega I will tell you one thing ona wewe ugotikania nani turi haha o mundu agiruta cingi 2020 turi haha tuyadota atandatu tiguo that is 120 sasa because we are able to give the 20 shillings but suppose we lower it the 20 shillings nigetha tuhote kuoya 10 ithenya ya kukuoya 20 kuma kwa andu atandatu tuoya 10 kuma kuri andu 100,000 that is what we are trying to show we want to lower so that many of the people can be able to contribute we are not eradicating pay we are only lowering it nikuguitha guithia nigetha andu aingi mahote gwikatia mu contribute
mutuwe korona thina munene muno wa gwikorwo na mbeca cia kuruta mawira maria murongoreirie kuruta
niki
tondu wariri no wa lower pay
yes
warite ko lower pay no eheria fine ino ya ciringi 5,000
yes
besa ile igacoka o githomo-ini kiu na hi maundu mangi maingi mwena githomo kia buri ko no kumaanisha arimu ninyu ru muri cokaga o mihuko ndipa mukathie kumariha koguo niho turoria atiriri mukigwithagia maundu maya ri hihi ni maundu maria tugire maka mwana karia kandi kagira kairetu marwa menyaga
nyogera hanini aiga nyogera hanini aigate pay as you earn ri atinigetha andu ingi marihe knowing pay as you earn itinetio mundu wothe ure wagiro gukorwo agitinio itinetio mundu gutire andu agi gukorwo gikinya itinetio mundu wothe gukorwo epe roro-ini gutire mundu
wothe wagiri thate ngiri 30 gucoka nathi taratine kuma hau no kuma ngiri thate guthie na iguru
bwana Jega icio internal consistency
ni marana nega muno mutienda ngitie maundu twaku
tukiritire hari ketuke tuthie kiriki
joke jire a Kenya ni ati mheshimiwa Raila Odinga ndari atuika president wa bururi uyu koguo andu a Kenya matwitikirie tumuonie uria tungitongoria bururi
urauga mwitikirio ka muhoye kura muheo
of course ni kuhoya kura twitikirie
ramenya marigire president ari duroni andu atano maikarite metha iguru
ora mashimali
kiariki
Kenyans allow us as NASA tuhe thirikari ya NASA tondu we have never been president koguo ukisema sijui
no anakorwa prime minister
yes of which you are not
nanu dia thirikari but he had half of the government
half of the government
ke muthuri ari koguo odotu nigotwika muthamaki not gukorwo na maundu thini wa ngoro
you see
ati murenda aiguirwo
muthamaki uyu ri muramuthura inyuĩ tondu wa manifesto yake na tondu wa maundu maria angika you understand you understand what I'm saying so ithuĩ nĩ gũkatwoka kwĩa na inchi matuhe kura that is why o muthenya we are going around umuthi twi Narok my leaders are in Narok today wakitafuta kura the other day tulikuwa Siaya na mwingine alikuwa Kitui alafu tulikuwa Western Malaba and all that kind of stuff so ithuĩ nĩ turetha kura we want to show Kenyans why they need to elect an NASA government and that's why I'm saying nemoroiga the current government imefanya hii but yeni Raila Odinga Kalonzo Musyoka and the NASA principles or the NASA government kahida kao joke jere adu mutikahenio ringi ni mwahenio laptop na igoka mukehenio vijana ne mugwethero wira na mukehenio maundu maingi agafara ne igwa kwa gacigana angikorwa we ni wonete fara icio ona we ni oyo gutira koguo nie ne ngwira andu mutikahenio ringi wait for the NASA government
no kinya tukorie
joria
mutongoria wanyu Odinga nyagetekira ahoto
why not
atakira ara commit
why not
ndare ara commit
katugo kuma
ndone twagutekeria uguo oiga
yes
na nĩ igua niegekaga muno jeshi rĩrĩa mũikarĩte thĩinĩ rĩ na nĩ igwire kiugo kĩgwetirwo nĩ JJ Gĩthaka atĩ nĩ muonekaga mũtirĩ na appetite ya gũteya institutions ti magoti gũtirĩ mũndũ mũtarĩ mwacha
that is what he said but I said from our perspective
bara tuothe ino anyumba cia mohoro nĩ tuonaga gũtirĩ mũndũ atacogothaga eciragia angĩũka gwathana agathana nao
there is a system of government, and everything we are talking about is about inclusivity. To include the you know, our Jeshishito, Navigari Shio. In fact, we've even talked about making sure that they live decently. That one we promised them. Mishara yao, yani there are things that will be able to work on time. Oh. No. Raila oigire, and it is very clear. Ona mogeza ka clip yo nimo kuigwa kiuga tiriri. Andu ni macokete kwendia migoda tondu wa ufukara. Thina. Tondu wa thina. Na akiuga we ni athaitha andu. Because when you sell this piece of land, because when you sell this piece of land, ora media na bei. Orera we. Ora media na bei. Ni Kenyans maguraga migoda. So we only want to protect them. Yes. We only want to protect them.
Ona raigire njohi ya butha na shanga. Yaroka kumirigara.
It is you, members of parliament, who can be able to legalize or declare that something is illegal. It is you, not Raila Odinga as president.
No, you alaigire thirikari yake. No neke gwenda kuga ihura haha. So dikireri netiko tukwero ni parliament. Taru ni de parliament. Hetokagia kiundu kiria kia Jubilee na nikio ditikanite na manifesto ya Jubilee. Undu ria waikaru wothe na ndero nugo wa Jubilee. Joyaga ucio nugo I advocate for that. That's why I'm in Jubilee. Na kiraigire wona NASA yoya nekariga rais abudha asanga na ndukariganirwo ati tikuga ati njohi Kenya tirigo ne njohi iria cietagwo second generation no yaraigire ciothe ri ni aroka kuriga na wona akinya kura ndana kurikiria statement kura kwa kapi yarigire mutigetekire we ni wota na ike statement mutigetekire andu ara mokaga guku so ena to incitement itari twega
gitungomire
ndugataure na urume ndugataure na urume
manifesto isigirire manifesto no ya NASA, it's very populistic. Ugeora manifesto ya Jubilee ni very realistic. Nyodo warere in 2013 Jubilee mari ona a very populistic manifesto. No ritaire mana tuka very realistic to ni maramenya urugari uri okoragwo haria thirikari-ine. NASA me populistic to still they did not come to reality. Taune marauga ni meguthondeka airport in all counties, airstrips in all counties. Nigetha andu magakoragwo makiuma guku with less than 3000. Yenda kuma guku guthie Mombasa ugo makauga ni meguthondeka electric commuter train ya enyitithanie coast county area ciothe cikoria coast. Makauga ni meguthondeka national coast ni ma-emphasize na coast. Makauga ni meguthondeka bara nene muno enyitithanie county area cia northeastern ciothe. Makauga ni meguthondeka bara ingi nene muno ci open up Lake Victoria. Riu ukona manifesto no ya NASA. Manifesto no ya NASA to ni very populistic. Implement or no implement over a period of 100 years. If you are realistic. Do you have that analysis? Do you have that analysis? Todo besa is you spend a lot of money. Besa is you there. Matiratu ni ate how they will raise money. Todo ni maratwira atiriri ni tukuongera ndagitari mishara ni tukuguithia pei uguo marauga mbeca ici ri deficit no ri deficit no ya budget ri mekuruta ku no ri hakage hope todo o manifesto ini no ya makauga atiriri ni meguthondeka office ya kumanage mathire maria marahoya koguo ona makira Jubilee ati ni ina mathire maingi muno ri koguo nao ni mari hoya mathire ni ici koguo na cio tha ici iria twina cio tha ici thire ri o mwana tha ici agiciarwo o mwana agiciarwo ena 9,900 afatirarega tutirarega. That is the debt that we want to manage. That is the debt we want to manage. You got riri my advice to Kenyans ni riri oguo turauga manifesto no ni ta we are seducing a girl oria mwana ke angithia seducing muiretu ri muiretu ni amuraria we wira ndoka gwaku ri riri yake koguo ni twagirwo turore atiriri hari andu aya maratuhe promises ri no tungitekia no gutuhe maundu maya aratu promise tutika korwo tugithie tukwe maundu ma populistic to mahota kwaga ku implement.
JJ ngithikiriria manifesto ino ri ndaigua hihi tari uria mwanake oka agakihenia muiretu no mwanake ucio arahenia muiretu mariage kwa nyina maikarage kwao ria mukuri guithia ucio ri
ukibirora o ukubona gitugoiga manifesto gituka implemented ri for a long period of time, no, eventually it will bankrupt this country. Implement Greece. Ego to go Hana Greece. To retired civil servants, Marikoragona fully funded medical scheme na pension.
But it is their right. It is even there, even right now.
Do it have very many rights.
Yeah, it is supposed to happen.
No resources here for that right. Then kwa maudu meribona waihura. Ni hari maudu maralivyo in passing magushe katiba. Uhoro wa hybrid ni very fundamental. So mudu wothe aromeria debate ya katiba kule Boma siri. Kwali na very heated debate. So the what you kete marenda presidency arevuguragwo ni parliament. Na ni ukomenya ne twathire gucenjia constituencies. Andore mahiro constituencies ni andu are turite ma complainaga ati ni marginalized. Now according to NASA, na I stand to be corrected. Maroigire leadership ya bururi wona mathie bunge iri thuragirwo ku. Koguo muheshimiwa Alice makanyitara their caucuses makadicingania. The sanctity of one vote, one person one vote is gone.
It is gone.
Okay? Niwega maudu maya matiwe clarify ngo. Todu ni fundamental change ya structure na architect ya serikali. The second one ni uhoro ithaka. For the last 3 or so years serikali ya Jubilee nani tutawira kwa Jubilee. Hari maudu tahimadinai ni maheanite titles.
Tio.
It is the responsibility.
It is the responsibility. The title. Na gushiria kidu kiria very gikora kikihigisha mundu munini ni kwaga collapse. Karataji ugitwara gwa sako unengerwa karuni nigetha wathirio nako ni mwariro somewhere. But dinaigwa any land policy from NASA.
It is there in the
but let me tell you something.
No mutina gweta
uhoro wa coast. Na eo ikoragwa the fat lie itari yero ni anybody. Alikorwa there is a community marginalized more bother than the Mijikenda. So right from the very beginning there was a 10-mile strip. Inatigu? Kilomita 10 inland. Inaka ishi ikorwa shishi yao. Shia mwarafu. True or false? More bothering. Who are the dominant group? Na nea makorome substitutes. Itimijikenda. No nara jugutu yukaka atiriri watu wa mbara
nivyo toire
no gima from Kiunga to Asini 90% ya land owners maikara Yemen, Qatar, Bahrain, Kuwait.
Fact 10 mile ni ya Yemen.
Ndiwo Oroshio kuri andu matuire mekire blinkers matiaragia todo magiaria ri they adware mamba benefit tagali nimekumakorera maitho. The main land reform coast province na bwana waihura todo kuragi na mogithia SGR wikoroke haha muno
toguthire mwe Kimuri ona kwenda gwikira Kimuri mogithine
uthie kuma south coast ukore ngamba icio cia migunda
citagwo ngundu
urie ni yao ukura ni ya Said
Atene King Abdullah.
Now the political elite I give the predominant kuma Sharif Nasir to the present one. Loyalty Shia around this country. They are Kenyans. No ill the political reality.
So you're in agreement there's a problem of land and coast. Tigo, you're in agreement.
Narrative to koragwa nayo ri ni ati kuri andu moimire kuma handu hathe within the up country. Magili makwea migoda. It is not backed by facts.
Okay. Kwada kugatrere waihura na jega. These people adoya nasari. Takorwo yura gorire ni mundu mweru roka gwitia gitiri. You can understand them. Eta jega uge ni ukuruga ma president. Ogyoka na maundu mandikite no uge atirire ke turoreka na jega ahota guka gututhitura na kiundu. Adu amaturite thirikari-ini. Maundu mothe na thirikari nini ni mari andu anene. Oyo prime minister Oyo vice president, mema minister, na no mema minister ni ma advisor the president on what to do. Like Matiang'i is the one now who is guiding Uhuru on education. Na ukona ni manyizize kara inikega godie. Ado amaturite thirikari ni kuma mariana ke. Na una matukite athuri. Niki undu kiriko giketaru maturite maigite uhoro wa migunda. Ugo to ni JJ. Ni ndenda gukura ihura na kuyonera na maitho. Taito siraheo no fio gwakwa kuria kundu kwana andu manaikara miaka 40 matari maheo taitu siroka sikaneo ukona mena kamufango kega ga guthima kineana taitu. These people need an opportunity. Onako tutinahota commit all the youth na kumahewira no ni rona twina maono nona uria tu investors mokite ma mothe waigwa president ya yorori uri ni mawira na mauko makiandikwa na kitu. NYS was a program nera address about anake no ndugo kanigethwo heo kura waje kugati ni tukari hanasis ndukariga ni onasis ya magiro kuro makiriho ne county government iria 24 no aciona ona omari oho o gasaga sainini devolution matihotete no waigwa ni maja gutinia misara pay as you earn ati adothe ati nigetha marihe andu ingi na ndukarigo pay as you earn ya mundu wothe uraruta wira handu ni kuona ni already ni mundu wothe urati ni urutaga wira handu no marenda kuga uguo na kuga ati ni gukaheo besa ni mugatimiryo giki nigetha ku people on this side no reality ka hit mweri kenda you see how they will be having problems ndenda kuga ati ngirikiria cio winding up
na wira andu makaumira wikia kura
ni ngumera na thirikari ya Jubilee ni heanite thitima njega pio kiundu itari dona ugithie street lighting no njugaga haria mundu imete ukegweta mwenyewe ungiona matawa maratuhetwo kuria thika
no marikani ndiri tuhe andu atari
o muthenya gwakwa tariu muthe ni kundu gwita watu nyaga ira ndai kundu gwita phase 7 muthenya ucio ngirai kundu gwita na ni street lighting okorenza kundu aria matari mona ino rasma atumia aria matari mona thitima kwao njega riu ndina sitagwati isi transformer njiriro cia gwakwa ikomera icio sinjira ngu kinya sirakinya ukona atiri ni turerutire ginya maundu ni ma
no kihemwe
ndugugeria kuratiriri andu itu mugetikira kumira tucokie thirikari ya Uhuru Muigai wa Kenyatta ma arikie wira uria reke ngure no narerie no njega andu othe maronete tari miri tari kindu gitangikinya maigaga ati yari Kioneki na ndiregire to uru marotaga ona Biblia ni yugaga uguo makarotaga na ithu tuka implementaga twakona vision ne ya guthikura ihu mutiri mundu weciritie njega twageria kuhurwa atirerie na gono na inaki but I'm telling you rerie no njega even your children iriyogetwo guka lerino ni gakoro ituteithĩtie handu hanene na tukaigaga atiriri nasa muona kindu kiega mugagita ni kiega na ni kiagira na muthenya wa muthe no ndagikura macinani tutigite cemania na andu agatuanya rangithi kumuthia thitima
na maragutara no horo akumira gwikia
na magokira kwa wingi na andu magokira kwa wingi reke ngwire thirikari ino imenyekanaga urugari wa thirikari umenyekanaga on their second term ohoro wa Uhuru wa Kenyatta nona maundu maitu mothe me halfway let him complete todo oga magigira ginya relisio raibo singiamba gutinio gatagati achievement cia jeshi cio raibo men magitinio gatagati
diga propaganda o national TV
manifesto ya onegregira ate Jubilee nekinyitia haha no ni kuhura kila kindu ginya ici tablet cia ciana ni cikioja kindu giothe ke ni kuga gutindo joria joria atonyaga yakwa joria kameno joria kimwe kana mena cio
mitogotakiri ebugotire
na ni kohera ebugotire ebugotire laptop ebugotire na ni dragweta kuria ungithio cikore ndeatea njengare mi na sirathondekero guku gwitu Jomo Kenyatta nyamu ici njega ni ciahiria andu ingi wira muno cithondekagirwo guku Kenya ni ciana citu na cikaikirwo nginya mauthomo macio mothe magekirwo no guku gwitu job opportunity iria ciho let the Jubilee government
turikiri hau ona solo ora ndari aciona kwao
andu matire maciona
aikoro
ni ginyu tiku kuciothe no gutarire thukuru ni ginyu
ciakinya hau hanyu
Kenyatta mwana
na ituge zitire iroka kundu
na riri na tucoka tumutume arekira muthamaki mugira wa nyihanyiha ri oke Kimuri tumurie ciuria ici kana
kimwira na gwe kundu itari ciakinya
ona ni mundu me I will come to interpret
na no kwenda muno ukire ona mheshimiwa Kalonzo
na ukimwira gyoke guku
no problem
ekageria thini wake maitulore maoni tondu he mundu rauga mwaki ni anjia gwaka ringi
mwaki eketweherere mwaki arikie wira tukamenya ni studio njega turakimarehera
ukorwo ithaka muno Francis Godi kabu kauga ha njega nderito ni ndirakena na manifesto ya NASA tondu ni maraugire ni makanyihia pei singo sone tuguthomete mathomo matari marihi na muno uniforms na other equipment. Michael Murangiri
Haike Mode manifesto is like love letter. They promise us all good things but never adhere to them.
Conclave Vokauga manifestos are not for countries like Kenya. We are taking ourselves to the class of USA and we are not close to the class of South Africa. It's just an academic document. Jomodia
Nidasho Kriana Sagado Netodo manifesto ya Netodo they did their best na maratu matumenye ona haria hage atage madhuruo maro to be sincere nasa matingehota na nekio maratuheire referendum kitodwa wajiko neguo makahota kofit iturua iria mereirwo.
Patrick Migwe akauga Waihura Njenga ni dona muri arathime rucini rwega thengi muno Kimuri kiramurika nginya mehuko ukai mucine jesi kinigo ko utawala turi ukamuthenya umwe kauga geithia muthuri ucio wa NASA muno omwere NASA very serious tondu twesiragia ati ni megutuhe candidate beũ njĩthĩ mundu wina meciria methi na utakahujia ngui Liza Eunice Wajira.
NASA manifesto is a bit better compared to that of Jubilee. My worry is that that of hybrid form of government constitutional amendment.
Mainanga Ngakauga Mike Njenga agree with NASA that HELB loan should not be waived, but the loan penalties should only apply if someone has a job. It doesn't make sense that the government gives loans and yet penalize on these loans and someone is jobless. Government should take the full responsibility on high unemployment rather than taking advantage of it and imposing penalties on HELB. Peter Silva, Kauga Mike Njenga, did I hear someone say that they decided to launch online manifesto to avoid leakages? What are they hiding from us Kenyans as public? I thought this is all about public interest. Everything should be done and kept in bold daylight.
They now have it. They now I fail to understand how they will fulfill all their promises with the promise of pay and tax reduction.
Tuna Rahab Mushiri Tuna Modo weto Damashi Joro Kauga Kimuri, not a bad manifesto, though how they start off without prayers, I was shocked. Matina Hoya, Matina Hoya, Hamodoko I have a very high expectations, but to my surprise, it is the same thing we have had all these years. Eric Godia grinding Akauga, everything seems free in this NASA government. Wilson Mungu Akauga Horo Ashanga na Guatea. Na Gege Kwena Van Rooney, Kwena Betty Wabui, Akauga Kenyan Kenya matikagia kura kulingana na manifesto ni ukabila utile mudu ogithie kwedia manifesto ya NASA Central.
Na maikiona ora tukiuga tukwenda kwera andu aria mahetwo mbeca cia higher education laws board kurikia githomo na kwaga wira ti justification ne runi woire ni kia na option ya kuya kana kwaga ugu uria mundu agire guthie ni uthie kuri wabici ya higher education laws board umere to marwa penalty ni utumagirwo kerwo it is due no rugwiciria ati nyoka igwirwo that nginya horo wa wira muthie mugia na kamubango tau maiko nginya nimo nginya ngiri imwe no kuringana kana nginya ngia mugia na mubango kwaga gure nyoka ata
regetovie yabuthi wa boy asante sana Francis Godi Daniel na asante sana thank you tulekie
tumana Muriukiduiga kuma Wiper Jackson Githaka kana JJ Githaka kuma University ya Nairobi tumana Gitogo Amere is an analyst na a young fresh graduate na ona yake ruta wera
na ndo marake ni muno niwe
ndo marake na muno na ninge
kauga
Aris Nganga twakena wa mbere tumutahereire agirie kundu kungu twamwira ukakemurira netekera guka natwacokia ngatho ndetwara kwa ni Ndiritu Waihura na tukoro twina hindi ya gukera tuna professor Waini kuma thaira tuna ndu nginya thathitu ne thiko 39 andu mahoe ndu wa bururi witu wa Kenya
nima ni jitagwo Michael Jega gauga ni ngatho nyingi muno na no turakuririkania ona cie thiko 39
yes
uririkane we gukira gwaku guikia kura ni undu wa bata muno uririkane kwaga gukira guikia kura ni guikiria mundu ungi kura santi tago Jega wa Wabui gauga mutidie thayo mongerore magokumia na Jehova Ngai amurathime santi.